page 12. Pure, White and Deadly, by John Yudkin, 1972. How Sugar is Killing Us and What We Can Do to Stop It. 0.2 Introduction by Yudkin. A great deal has been written about sugar. There are dozens of books about the cultivation of the sugar cane and the sugar beet, including books that describe the shameful story of the slave trade between Europe, West Africa and the Caribbean. There are dozens of books giving the technical details of sugar refining and the manufacture of sugar-containing food and drinks. But further accurate information about sugar as a food is not easy to come by. How many people eat more than average and how many eat less? Who are the small consumers and who are the big consumers and what are the smallest and largest amounts consumed? What would it do to our health if we took no sugar at all, or if we ate quite large amounts? Part of this information can, with some trouble, be found in trade publications, but not all of it. You might think you could get it from the sugar industry itself. They undoubtedly have active information centers in many countries. We know what the average sugar consumption is in each country. But it is not possible to get the answer even to such simple questions as how much sugar is in the diets of people of different ages, or what is the range of the sugar content of the diet of 15-year-old British schoolchildren. It may be that the industry simply does not have this information, or it may be that they have it but do not wish it to be known. Especially, we would expect the sugar industry to be knowledgeable about levels of consumption when, in rejecting criticisms of the effects on health, they constantly refer to a moderate consumption. Yet what the industry considers moderate must, on any reckoning, be quite a sizable quantity. One of the scientists who most strongly supports the sugar industry has written, the usual range of sugar intake may therefore be between 10 and 30% of total calories, with the average at 15 to 20%. He goes on to say, this rate of sugar intake may be considered moderate, and can probably be exceeded somewhat without overstepping the balance of moderation. Much more research has been done on the effects on health of the bread in our diet, or the eggs, or the breakfast cereals, or the meat, or the vegetables, than about the effects of sugar, even though sugar on average constitutes about 17% of our diet, a larger proportion than any of these other items. Yet in 1972, when Pure, White and Deadly was first published, what little research there had been already showed that sugar in our diet might be involved in the production of several conditions, including not only tooth decay and overweight but also diabetes and heart disease. Since that time research has produced further evidence that sugar is implicated in these conditions, and has also added to the list of diseases in which the sugar we eat may possibly, or even probably, be a factor. Many of the experiments from which these conclusions are derived have been carried out at the Nutrition Department of Queen Elizabeth College, University of London, some of them in collaboration with research workers in the biochemistry department. When our experiments have been repeated independently in other research institutes, the results have always been in line with our own. Those who disagree with what we say may therefore challenge the conclusions that we draw from the research, but they cannot legitimately disagree with the experimental results. In this edition I have taken the opportunity to bring up to date and extend many of the statistics that I quoted earlier. I have also summarized the research that we and others have done during the last 14 or 15 years which has shown more of what happens in our bodies when we eat sugar. I am often asked why we don't hear very much about the dangers of sugar, while we are constantly being told we have too much fat in our diet, and not enough fiber. I suggest that you will find at least part of the answer in the last chapter of this book. John Yudkin, 1986. Page 13.